Hiya, and thank you for joining me here today for this review of the film Apocalypse Now. Now, I've spoken about Apocalypse Now, I think, previously, because I have seen this film a couple of times on home video, that kind of stuff. Home video, God, that makes me sound so old, doesn't it? But I've seen this film a couple of times, and this was my first time watching it in the cinema. So I think it's the 40th anniversary release, something like that, of Apocalypse Now. It's the final version. I saw the Redux, which is the one that I had on DVD, I guess, back in the day. But this was my first opportunity to go and see it in the cinema, kind of appreciate it for its length, you know, Coppola's amazing, interesting, stunning kind of recreation of Vietnam. And really this was a bit of an eye-opener for me because there was so much of the film that I think I didn't remember. Possibly because I didn't appreciate it, maybe because you're seeing it on the big screen for the first time. It was such a majorly different way of viewing the film. And I really loved it for that. It had so much to recommend it. There's more humour in this film than I actually remember from the first time I watched it. You know, some of the humour is stealing the surfboard. And by the way, I'll make this clear. I can't remember the Redux version I watched. So I am not the right person to talk to you about whether or not this version, the final version, is containing more, less, etc. I remember all the major bits, you know, all the kind of iconic imagery. I remember seeing all of that again. Even some of the quite disturbing things that people, I guess, would find quite difficult to watch these days. I remember all of those things being in there, but there were interesting moments in the film that I just don't recall them. I don't think it really sank in that well into my, you know, 20s something brain at the time. I was in my early 20s, I guess, when I saw it. And now, 20 odd years later, I feel that much more, let's say, impressed by the film. And yeah, the humour was interesting. Stealing a surfboard, those kind of interesting moments. For me, you know, a lot of people talk about Brando. For me, this is not Brando's film. He's in the film, but he has such a minor role, albeit great. It's really about Martin Sheen, and what that man does in this role is fantastic. It's great to see it up on the big screen. Loved kind of getting to see the, you know, this sort of iconic imagery on that big screen, the helicopters, the Hueys or whatever you call them, was great, really good. Quite a small attendance in the cinema. I was surprised there were maybe only, I guess, 6 or 7 people in the whole cinema altogether, which was pretty weak, I think, for a film of this kind of quality. But having said that, it was quiet, no disturbances, and a fun way to get out and enjoy, you know, a really interesting film. And for that reason, I loved it. I thought it was really great. So I would give Apocalypse Now I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's not one of those films that I would watch very often. It's not a sort of repeater for me. But it's definitely right up there, and it's a thinker. It's definitely a thinker, and I enjoyed it all the more for seeing it on the big screen. I'm going to try and seek these things out a little bit more often because I've seen Alien now this way, and catching these films as they're remastered and brought back into cinema just for one night is great. I really like that. I like it more than doing the screen unseen type thing. So maybe that'll help me use my past a little bit more often and make better use of my cinema going opportunities. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this review of Apocalypse Now. What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Obviously, it's a brand new film out, so most of you won't have seen it, so I won't spoil it. But if you have any comments, please let me know down there. You can reach me through my email address, which is juliettesnoir@gmail.com, or the website julietnoir.uk. I look forward to talking to you all again in the next video. Thanks ever, and bye! Bye!